Hello and thanks for joining me, your sport pilot James Glory, on another exciting episode of Sport Bible on TNT, where we'll bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport every Tuesday. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday and we'll be starting from the events that took place during the midweek in the world of football, where we talk about the UEFA Champions League, the match between Real Madrid and Manchester City, where we saw Real Madrid dominating Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium to get their win ahead of the return leg at the Santiago Bernabéu, putting them at advantage in the return leg on home soil. This was an interesting one between Real Madrid and Manchester City, where we saw Jude Bellingham scoring the winning goal to help them get a win ahead of the return leg. And also, this is the first time that Manchester City will be defeated at the Etihad Stadium in the UEFA Champions League since the year 2018, with the Pep Guardiola side be able to respond, visiting Santiago Bernabéu in Spain to get the win that they will be using to proceed to the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League. And also, talking about the UEFA Champions League, we talk about Atalanta being defeated by Club Brugge. Remember that Atalanta were doing incredibly well in the knockout phase of the particular competition, but right now they are made to play against Club Brugge, where they were defeated by Club Brugge 2-1, and tonight they will be hoping that they will be able to make things right at home soil, being able to defeat Club Brugge to proceed to the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. They have so many things to do, particularly trying to get a win against Club Brugge, maybe with a 2 goals difference in that particular match that will be taking place tonight in the world of football. And talking about world of football, we talk about Manchester City were able to bounce back in the Premier League after suffering 5-1 defeat against Arsenal Football Club. They were able to put 4 past Newcastle during the weekend, and it was a great event between these two, particularly where we saw Omar Mahmoud scoring his first goal and his first hat-trick for Manchester City, as Manchester City are back to the top 4 in the Premier League, just 3 points behind Nottingham Forest, who couldn't get a win during the weekend in the Premier League. And also in the Premier League, we talk about Arsenal Football Club, who were able to get a win against Leicester City without a striker. Arsenal were able to put 2 past Leicester City without a striker, as we all know that Kai Havertz, who happens to be converted as a striker for Arsenal Football Club, is out on injury for the rest of the season. Will Arsenal Football Club be able to do well in his absence, being able to chase down Liverpool in the title race in the Premier League this season? Remember that Mikel Arteta decided during the January transfer window to sign Oli Watkins, who couldn't come to Arsenal Football Club, and right now Arsenal are left without a striker in the Premier League title race. Will they be able to chase down Liverpool, who were able to get a win during the weekend against Wolverhampton Wanderers? They were able to defeat Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-1 in the Premier League to extend their lead in the top of the Premier League with 7 points cushion ahead of Arsenal Football Club. Liverpool we were able to draw points during the midweek also against Everton in the Manchester derby, and we also saw them winning during the weekend, particularly against Wolverhampton Wanderers, where we saw Mo Salah scoring his 23rd goal of the season, and right now is the highest goal scorer in the Premier League, followed closely by Erling Haaland and Chris Wood in the Premier League. It's going to be an interesting one to watch out for in the Premier League, but let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue from where we stopped.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and we're still talking football, but this time around we'll be traveling down to the Bundesliga in Germany, where we'll talk about the match between the defending champion and the league leaders in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich versus Bayern Leverkusen, where this ended in a goalless draw in favor of Bayern Munich. Like I said, they were able to play a draw during the weekend, and this means that Bayern Munich has been able to go ahead of Bayern Leverkusen with 8 points in the Bundesliga. This season, the two clubs has only been able to lose one match each in the Bundesliga, but Bayern Munich, after a draw against Bayern Leverkusen, means that they have played 4 draws, and Bayern Leverkusen has only played 8 draws in the Bundesliga this season, and this means that 8 points difference between them is going to be a significant one till the end of the season if Bayern Munich fail to lose any match going forward under Vincent Kompany, or if Xabi Alonso's side decided to lose another match in the Bundesliga. It's going to be an interesting one to watch till the end of the Bundesliga. Will the defending champion be able to retain their trophy, or the record champion in the Bundesliga, will they be able to win their first under Vincent Kompany? Where we'll be seeing Harry Kane winning his first trophy with Bayern Munich. It's going to be an interesting one for that personality, talking about Harry Kane, who has scored so many goals in his career. And also talking about draws, we talk about Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, who dropped points again during the weekend, as Real Madrid could share points with Osasuna, and Atletico Madrid couldn't get a win against Celta Vigo. It's an advantage for Barcelona in the La Liga right now, as Barcelona will be looking to capitalize on that advantage going forward in the La Liga. I'm talking about the Serie A. We talk about an interesting match that we watched between Lazio and Napoli that ended 2 goals apiece between them in the Serie A, and this is going to be an interesting one that everyone would have been thinking that Inter Milan would be able to win their match and go ahead in the Serie A table, but Juventus were able to do Napoli a favor as they were able to defeat Inter Milan in the Serie A. This means that Napoli are currently at the top of the Serie A table with 2 points ahead of Inter Milan, and Atalanta are following closely. Juventus are in the 4th position in the Italian Serie A. Talking about the Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain continues to remain undefeated in the Ligue 1 this season, and also back to the Premier League, where we talk about the match between the two uninformed side in the Premier League. We talk about Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. The match between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United was a one to look out for during the weekend, as Tottenham Hotspur were able to get a win against Manchester United, who are struggling with injury right now. Remember that Tottenham Hotspur also suffered from various injury in the Premier League, and their players are getting back. And while their players are getting back in the Premier League, Manchester United players are going on injury, as Ahmad will be out of the season permanently, and also we saw Gatti and Kobe Menu out of Manchester United squad. They had young talents on their bench against Tottenham Hotspur, and they couldn't get a win in the Premier League during the weekend, and they are sitting in the 15th position in the Premier League right now. A sad one for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United fans across the world, but guys, it's going to be an interesting midweek for us in the world of football, as we'll be seeing the knockout phase played in the UEFA Champions League this night and tomorrow night in the world of football. Particularly an interesting one to look out for is going to be the match between Manchester City and Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabéu, who will be proceeding to the round of 16 of that competition. And this is the length at which we'll be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on TNT Work. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handle at Sport Vibe on TNT Work. Remain a law-abiding citizen. Enjoy your week and stay safe.